woman threw an old man off a building, but the man who witnessed it was still calmly playing the piano. Turns out he's a blind pianist. To make himself look blind, he put on a pair of sunglasses and used a stick to indicate his direction. But little did he know that pretending to be blind would almost cost him his life. The man comes to the rich woman's house to play the piano as usual, but she tells him to come back another day. But he doesn't realize the danger and says he wants to finish his work first. The rich woman realized that the man was blind and took him to her house. The man didn't know what was going on and Saturday down on the stool when he found a dead body. It was then that the man realized the danger of the place. All he could do was keep playing the piano to hide his fear. The man looked at the rich woman standing in front of him and said he wanted to go to the bathroom. The rich woman helped the man to the bathroom, but the man panicked as he entered the bathroom. He saw the murderer hiding in the bathroom and his heart tightened in his throat. The murderer thought the man was blind and therefore didn't care about him. The man came out of the bathroom and realized that the dead man was the rich man who had hired him. He wanted to get out of there and quickly started playing the piano. At this point, the two men examined the crime scene. After the man had finished playing the piano, the murderer also left with the body. He left the rich woman's house and went to the police. When the man arrived at the police station, he discovered that the chief of police was the murderer. So he lied and said he'd lost his cat and wanted the police to find it. To avoid arousing the rich woman's suspicions, the man went to her house to play the piano again. The elevator door opened and he discovered a horrific scene. To save his life, the man could only pretend not to have seen anything. A woman threw an old man from the top of a building. The man pretends to be blind to avoid trouble, but the woman is already wondering if the man is blind. The woman follows the man back to his house to see if he is blind. The man is terrified when he sees that it was the murderer who pushed the old lady, but the woman came to visit the man and found him played the piano wonderfully. She also brought him a gift. The man ate the food so as not to arouse suspicion, and then went to the kitchen to make tea. When the rich woman saw the cup of tea on the table, she poured poison into the man's cup. When the man realized that the rich woman wanted to kill him, he touched the cup. The rich woman immediately pulled out a pistol and pointed it at the man, then fired several shots at him. The man, in shock, revealed his identity. Fortunately, there were no bullets in the gun. The man was so frightened that he promised not to tell anyone about the rich woman. However, his eyes suddenly darkened and he fainted. The food men eat is poisonous. When the man woke up, he realized he couldn't see. It turns out that the rich woman turned the man into a true blind man. Although the man had gone blind, the police chief was still a little worried, so the chief of police went to the man's house and tried to kill him. Fortunately, the man knew his way around the house and escaped by hitting the chief of police with an electric iron. Since he couldn't see the road, he felt for the guardrail on the side of the road, but he suddenly hit a pole and fainted. When the man woke up, he was lying in hospital. The doctor told him it was a proper hospital and that he would help him with his eyes. The man quickly made his way to the operating table, but the doctor didn't want to fix the man's eyes. He wanted to take his organs. This doctor who sells organs intends to take this patient's kidney. The man got up and tried to struggle, but he was anesthetized and gradually fell into a coma. But when the man woke up, the organ was still on him. It turned out that the nurse had interceded on the man's behalf. When the man found out, he bribed the doctors with a whopping $10 million. They could get the money if they completed the task. They tied up the rich woman and asked the police commissioner to find $10 million to ransom her. The police commissioner threw the money into the elevator and rushed upstairs to save the rich woman. Just as he reached the roof, he spotted the criminals holding the rich woman hostage. The police chief is then faced with a misfortune. He entered the elevator, was trapped by a power failure and shouted in anger. The police chief tried to open the elevator door, but lost his life because of his mistake. The rich woman also freed herself and hits the doctor who took her blood. The doctor is about to lose his life. At the critical moment, a man arrives and tackles the rich woman to the ground. The doctor covers her with a towel and plunges her into a coma before putting her in the trunk of the car. Just as the doctor is about to take the rich woman away, he receives a phone call before leaving. The customer was bringing good news. A civil servant's daughter needs an intact liver. The civil servant's daughter has a rare blood type that doesn't match the liver. The doctor was delighted to learn that the daughter's blood type was BH negative, because that's the rich woman's blood type. 2 years passed quickly. The man's ex-girlfriend walked into a store and discovered her ex-boyfriend on the promotional cover. The woman immediately tracked down her ex-boyfriend to find out if he was pretending to be blind again. Since the man didn't want to kill the rich woman, she tried to stop the doctor. The doctor stopped the car and tried to kill the man with poison. When the doctor got out of the car, he couldn't get back in, but the rich woman got in. Turns out the rich woman killed the doctor in the trunk. When the man heard the doctor had been killed, he said the doctor wasn't a bad guy, but the rich woman kicked the man out of the car and fled. She had just driven a short distance when a blind rabbit jumped on the car window. The rich woman screamed and died in the accident. After hearing this, the ex-girlfriend thinks the ex-man shouldn't have saved the rich woman. But did he really? As he left, the man used a stick to knock over the tin can in front of him. It turns out that the man told another lie. He's not blind. If he were blind, How would he know that the rabbit was blind? The man and the doctor took the rich woman's liver and faked a car accident. They split the money between them. This film teaches us not to believe what we hear and not to believe what we see.